أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I welcome you all back to the Fajr Quran Dars session as we started Surah Yusuf yesterday and we'll continue inshallah. So yesterday it was an introduction and we just went over 4 ayahs. So we'll start from ayah number 5, a quick recap of the first 4 ayahs also, and then we'll continue inshallah from there. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال يا بني لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك فيكيدوا لك كيدا إن الشيطان للإنسان عدو مبين وكذلك يجتبيك ربك ويعلمك من تأويل الأحاديث ويتم نعمته عليك وعلى آل يعقوب كما أتمها على أبويك من قبل إبراهيم وإسحاق إن ربك عليم حكيم صدق الله العظيم. This was still ayah number 6, but inshallah we'll do more than that in the explanation. And Surah Yusuf, like we said yesterday, is a Meccan surah, and it was revealed at a time of very sad and difficult time for the Messenger ﷺ, and the year which was known for as the Amul Huzn, the year of sorrow and sadness, in which there were different types of challenges around the Messenger ﷺ. The people of Makkah rejected him completely. Most of them, especially the elders, even some of his own family and uncles. And then there was a time when the whole Makkans agreed to boycott the Prophet ﷺ and his family, immediate family, Bani Hashim. And they spent about 3 years outside Makkah in the valley of Abi Talib or Shabi Abi Talib or Shabi Bani Hashim. And they were boycotted completely, totally, that nobody could do business with them, nobody could buy or sell or help in any way, shape or form. And they were there for that long and suffering from hunger and thirst and sickness. And as they came out, his beloved wife Khadija radiallahu anha very soon passed away because of the weakness and sickness that she suffered. And soon after, Abu Talib, his very close and supportive uncle, also passed away. Then he turned to Ta'if, and the people of Ta'if also rejected. So this was a very sad time for the Prophet ﷺ. And the people of Medina, the Jewish community, and they would ask the Messenger ﷺ about different things to test him and to try to prove that he is not a prophet and he would not be able to answer some of their questions that they had the knowledge of in the books in the past. And the people of Makkah would also go to Jews and tell them to ask them to, give us some tough questions so we can ask. So one of the questions from the Jewish people came is about Yusuf alayhi salam. Tell us about a prophet whose father or a prophet, and then he was going through difficulties, and this surah was revealed. And this surah, like I said, was revealed at a time of difficulties to become a consolation, a type of tasliya, consolation and support and backing for the Prophet ﷺ, telling him, look at the story of Yusuf ﷺ, and when you are in grief and difficulty, reciting and reading Surah Yusuf will bring you relief and comfort. So this is true that anytime we go through issues and troubles, especially mentally and spiritually, reading Surah Yusuf, especially when we understand the meaning, we will inshallah receive and get the type of comfort and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through his words in Surah Yusuf provides, looking at the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. Now this is called Ahsan al-Qasas. This is the best of stories because there is something for everyone, children and elders and men and women and people in power and ordinary people, and there are etiquettes and manners for business and for family relationships and all types of affairs of life. This is a complete, full surah in every way. And the whole story of Yusuf alayhi salam is included in one surah in one place in a very chronological and very orderly fashion. The surah starts with the huruf muqatta'at, disjointed letters, al-huruf al-muqatta'ah, that you just say the names of letters, alif, lam, ra, and stretch it 6 counts. Tilka ayatul kitab al-mubin. These are the ayat, the verses of the book that is mubin, clearly, crystal clear. Al-mubin, crystal clear in itself, and mubin also means it makes things clear. It makes aqidah, it makes the creed, the iman, and the rulings and the history, everything clear. Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyya. We have revealed a Qur'an, a recital to be recited and read, Arabian, in Arabic language. And Arabian also means very clear, unambiguous, and openly understood, easily understood. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ. And it has been revealed in this manner so that you use your aql, your mind, your intellect, so that you increase in your understanding. نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص. We relate to you, we narrate to you, we read to you, and we explain to you أحسن القصص, the best of stories. And we said نقص means when you follow something all the way to the end and you explain it fully and completely. أحسن القصص, the best of all stories. بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن, through our wahi to you, our revelation to you of this Quran. وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين. Although before this you were of those who had no idea, who were not aware. So before the revelation of this surah, Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam had no knowledge, at least the complete, full, detailed knowledge, accurate understanding and knowledge of the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. This also tells us that whatever is mentioned here, and also some supporting detail in the ahadith of the Prophet ﷺ that are authentic ahadith in the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, that's what we have to stick with. And we should not go behind made up stories in Israeliyat, the books of that we don't know even sources. They just make up some additional extra details to make the story more of like kind of romance, and so much details that make it interesting for people, but a lot of it is unauthentic. A lot of it has no basis in the Quran or in the Sunnah. So whatever is necessary, whatever is important for our life and lessons and aqidah, our iman and our respect and everything about the Prophet is there in the Quran. Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam has not left it out. So we should not go after any other additional sources that we have no idea of their authenticity. And Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam have never mentioned them. So if they didn't mention them, there is no benefit in them. there is no point we can go after them, especially when they are doubtful. And a lot of stories even disrespect the honor, the position, the level, the rank of the prophets mentioned in this surah. And so for that reason, we should not even listen to those or think about them. إذ قال يوسف لأبيه, when, remember when Yusuf alayhi salam told his father, Ya abati, oh my dear father. He uses a very loving and caring, respectful word, Ya abati, oh my dear father. Now, a young boy, as soon as he sees something very important in his life, something happened to him, the first person he goes to his parents, in this case his father. Ya abati, he doesn't want to share his secrets with anyone before telling his father and taking his father's advice. And that's the type of relationship that one has to develop with their kids, that they trust them, they trust each other, and whatever happens to them in their life, with school and plays and other places and outside and inside, whatever they go through, and they have some issues and troubles or doubts or whatever happens, the first people to come to parents and ask them for their help and advice. Ya abati, oh my dear father, inni ra'aytu ahada ashara kawkaba. Indeed, I saw 11 stars. Washamsa wal qamara, and I saw the sun and the moon. Ra'aytuhum, I clearly saw them. This is a repetition of the word to emphasize and make it clear that I definitely saw these 11 stars, and the sun and the moon make sujood to me, meaning show me respect. They all respected me in a very special way. So this was very amazing and elevating and spiritually uplifting dream that he saw. So as soon as he tells his father, because Yaqub alayhi salam was a prophet of Allah, he knew that this dream has a very great meaning. And my son Yusuf alayhi salam is going to be a great person based on the interpretation of this dream, that he will be in a very high level where his brothers, that are the 11 stars, his own full brother Binyamin, who was from his own mother and father, and the 10 brothers who were his half brothers, the sons of Yaqub alayhi salam, from other wives. So all these 11 brothers, and Shams being his mother, Yusuf alayhi salam's mother, and which is who were called whose name was Rahil, and in Bible and other books they call it Rachel. Rahil, she was the mother of Yusuf alayhi salam. Wal Qamar, and the moon, Yusuf, Yaqub alayhi salam himself. They all, and the dream interpretation comes true when Yusuf alayhi salam is in Egypt and the whole family goes back, and they all are reunited after many years, and they all show great respect and honor to Yusuf alayhi salam, and they go bow down and show their great respect to Yusuf alayhi salam. Qala ya bunayya, ayah number 5. Yaqub alayhi salam says, Ya bunayya, oh my dear beloved son. As Yusuf alayhi salam was very beloved, very close to his father, and Yusuf alayhi salam used to trust his father more than anyone else and have this close and friendly relationship, and he called him Ya Abati, oh my dear respected father, the same way the father is addressing and talking to son Yusuf alayhi salam. Qala ya bunayya, oh my dear beloved son, la taqsus ru'yaka. Now Yaqub alayhi salam felt some concern, and he felt inside that if he says this to his brothers, now his brothers may become jealous of him. Only because Yaqub alayhi salam knew the meaning, the true meaning of that dream, And he knew that the brothers are old enough and mature enough, and they will definitely understand this and become more jealous of him. They're already kind of showing some type of jealousy, uh, but if they know about this dream, they will grow even more jealous. And he also attributes that to shaitan, that shaitan will instigate and whisper to brothers to become even more evil and more jealous of their brothers Yusuf alayhi salam. La taqsus, don't relate, don't narrate, don't say this ru'yaka, this ru'ya. Ru'ya, like we said, is with ru'ya with alif, that means dream. Ru'yatun with a ta marbuta, the circle ta with two dots, that means seeing something. You know, ru'ya basariya. Ru'ya with alif, ru'ya hulumiya, that is dream, and ru'yatun when you see something with your own eyes. So Yaqub alayhi salam says, don't tell about your dream to your brothers, ala ikhwatika, to your brothers. Fayakidu, fa, as a result, they will try to yakidu, they will try to plot and plan. They will try to plot and plan against you. Laka kaidan. Kaidan, the type of wrong and inappropriate and evil plots against you. Yaqub alayhi salam feels for his son, and obviously he was younger, and Binyamin was even younger than Yusuf alayhi salam. The other 10 brothers were already adults; they were already grown ups. They didn't need that much of care and attention of their father as the two young brothers needed. And this is natural in human nature, that when the kids grow up, they need less of attention. Even parents now need their attention and their help, their assistance. But when the kids are younger, and the younger they are, the more they need parents' full attention. And as slowly they grow up, that subsides and reduces slowly, and a time comes when it reverses. So naturally, this was the case, that the grown-up brothers were not in that much need of father's full attention as the younger two brothers. That's one. Number two, it is also natural that any person, parents or others, whoever pays them more attention, whoever shows them closeness, whoever shows them more respect and love, they reciprocate. They also show the same type of attitude, the same type of emotions. So Yusuf alayhi salam and his brother Binyamin, especially Yusuf alayhi salam, was extremely respectful and very close and good and caring to his father. So the same thing came from his father, reciprocated and returned similarly. So inna shaitana, indeed shaitan lil insani, his father Yaqub alayhi salam is telling him, indeed shaitan lil insani, to insan, to human being, aduun, to insan, and to human beings he is an enemy, mubin, very clear, open and clear enemy. Now, even here, he doesn't squarely, completely blame brothers if they show any type of jealousy, hatred, or animosity, or any negative feelings against Yusuf alayhi salam. He still says shaitan will cause them to do that. And that is a good way of, calling people from their evil, away from their wrongdoing. You don't blame it on the person. You are wrong. You are shaitan. You are evil. You are devil. Don't. That even makes him even more stubborn. But if you say shaitan is trying to whisper, shaitan is trying to take you away from this path, shaitan tries to make you do something wrong. So that is a more gentle and lenient way of calling people from wrong towards good. وَكَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ. And Yaqub alayhi salam is telling Yusuf alayhi salam, وَكَذَلِكَ, and similarly, this is how, the way that you saw the dream, this is exactly how يَجْتَبِيكَ, Allah is choosing you, is picking you. Ijtiba, يَصْطَفِيكَ, Mustafa, Mustaba, meaning Allah is يَصْطَفِيكَ, He is choosing you, picking you up. He is picking you, Rabbuka, your master, wa yu'allimuka. So number one, he is choosing you to be a special person. He is choosing you for special mission, for special work and high mission. Number two, wa yu'allimuka, and Allah is teaching you. Yaqub alayhi salam is telling his son, Yusuf alayhi salam, step by step, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to plan his future. Because Yaqub alayhi salam, being a prophet, a messenger, knowing from the circumstances and knowing from the dream interpretation and knowing also from the wahy that Allah reveals to him. وَيُعَلِّمُكَ, and Allah is teaching you min ta'wil al-ahadith. Allah is teaching you from interpretations of the dreams. Ta'wil, interpretation, al-hadith primarily means the dreams. So he was the best interpreter of dreams. And later on, we will see when he's in Egypt and the king sees the dreams. First of all, the two prisoners with him see the dream and he interprets that. And then the king sees the dream and he interprets that. So Allah says, Yaqub alayhi salam tells him that Allah is teaching you this knowledge of dream interpretation. It also means ta'wil al-ahadith, not only dream interpretation, but also interpretation and understanding and analyzing all types of speech. Ahadith, all types of talk, the books of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the revelation, and any other talk and speech, you will have very, very intelligent and sharp understanding of all different types of talk and speech. That means you will be very intelligent and knowledgeable in understanding all different levels of speech, the kings and the ordinary people and the businessmen and everyone else. Number three. So number one, it was Allah's choosing you. Number two, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching you the interpretation and understanding of all types of speech and dreams. Number three, Allah yutimmu ni'matahu. Allah is perfecting his ni'mah, his favors and bounties, his blessings alayka, upon you, wa ala ali yaquba. And through you, he is completing and perfecting his blessings upon the family of Yaqub. He's talking about himself now, the family of Yaqub alayhi salam. Kama atammaha. Just as Allah had perfected and given complete and full favors and blessings of his ala abawaika, upon your parents. Now he's talking about his ancestors. Great father and great grandfather. Great father being Ishaq alayhi salam, and great grandfather being Ibrahim alayhi salam. Min qablu, before Ibrahim alayhi salam, was Ishaq and Ishaq alayhi salam. Inna rabbaka, indeed your master, alimun, he has knowledge over all things. He is all knowing and hakim, and he is all wise. He has all the wisdom, complete and full wisdom of all that decisions and decrees and qada and qadar that he is doing. Now, as a young man, Yaqub alayhi salam is teaching him great lessons in aqidah, great lessons in the decree and iman and qada and qadar. And this is a very good way. And when kids start to talk to you, even in young age, you should be ready to explain to them and interpret their thoughts, their questions in a manner that makes sense to them, and in a manner that teaches them the fundamentals of Aqeedah and Islam, the foundations of their faith. Yaqub alayhi salam here is referring everything to your master, your Rabb. He is going to do these several favors upon you. And that it creates to Yusuf alayhi salam that special, bond and connection and knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَقَدْ كَانَ فِي يُوسُفَ. Now starts the answers to those questions that came to the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that came also before him and after him, people asking and inquiring about Yusuf alayhi salam. And the main purpose of this whole story and revelation about Yusuf alayhi salam is this: لَقَدْ كَانَ. Indeed, there is في يوسف, in Yusuf alayhi salam himself, وإخوته, and in all his brothers, the 10 brothers and his own brother Binyamin. In all of them, there definitely is what? Ayatun. There are signs. Signs of learning, signs of reminders, signs and ayat, miracles of learning and understanding and admonishing and being reminded. For who? Lisa'ilin. For everyone who is asking. For all those who have questions. Questions about, like we repeated this many, many times, about parenthood, about childhood, about siblings, about every affair that is going to be explained in this surah. And also merely about the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, and what could we learn from that. إذ قالوا, remember when قالوا, the brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam said, La Yusufu. La, the Islam is Islam of Tawqeed. That definitely, no doubt, this is a certain thing that Yusuf alayhi salam wa akhuhu, and his brother, which is the younger brother Binyamin, ahabbu, they are more beloved, ila abina, to our fathers, minna, from us. They are more beloved than us to our father. This was their claim. This was their own idea and understanding, which was in no way accurate. First of all, a prophet cannot differentiate between his children. This is not befitting. This is not appropriate. This is not from the manners and the etiquettes of a prophet to show any a preference of some children over other children. But like I said in the earlier, naturally the young kids need more attention and more care, and the parents are normally and naturally spending more time on them in many ways. And when add to that, when those young children, or in any age, the children also show a lot of love and respect and closeness to their parents. And all parents know this. A lot of times internally we may have some inclination or some special bond to some children just because they show the same thing. And we try not to show this because of the, keeping good environment, good atmosphere with all the kids. So, but the twin brothers, they themselves felt as if Yaqub alayhi salam loves Yusuf and Benjamin alayhi salam more than us, which was not true. So, وَنَحْنُ عُصْبَةٌ, they said, while Yaqub alayhi salam loves them more, while we, usbatun, we are a strong, connected and united group. We have energy, we can work, we can assist, we can do all of things because of our usba, because of our strength and this being united group. And still our father shows more inclination and mailan to our younger brothers. Inna abana, indeed our father, lafi dhalalin mubin, he is in a clear and open error. He is wrong. He is clearly wrong. Now they are not accusing him, na'udhu billah minha, dhalal, being misguided, gumrahi. But here dhalal means he is absolutely clearly wrong. What he is doing, in their understanding, what he is doing of giving preference to some kids over others, this is completely wrong. Now, this was not true. So they said, you know what, let's do something. In order for us to have the full attention of our father, and so that his whole, he will be free for us completely, fully, then the only way we can do that, look at shaitan, how much shaitan played with their mind. And instead of, keeping good relationships and trying to understand the situation and trying to adjust themselves and become more mature, they make a very, very serious and very wrong, evil plot. And they say, "Uqtulu Yusuf." So together they made a plan. Let's kill Yusuf alayhi salam. And this is the only way we can clean and clear the path of father's full attention to us. أو اطرحوه. Or even if you are not killing him, let's throw him, اطرحوه, throw him أرضا, at an unknown land. It didn't say al-arda. Al-arda will be a known place, but here أرضا, an unknown, meaning a very far, somewhere that no one will be able to find. And when you do that, يَخْلُقْ لَكُمْ وَجْهَ بِكُمْ. That way your father's path will be clear for you. يَخْلُقْ, clear, لَكُمْ, for you, وَجْهُ. And wajhu, you can also understand it as tawajjuh. The attention of your father will completely be all to you guys. وَجْهَ بِكُمْ. وَتَكُونُوا, and you will become مِنْ بَعْدِهِ, after their قَوْمًا صَالِحِينَ, good people. Now, this is a very, very important lesson here. To have an intention of doing wrong, then in the meantime, making the intention, you know what, after we do this crime and commit with this wrong, we will do a tawbah. This is absolutely wrong. That when you are intentionally, willingly committing a crime, and in the meantime, you have the intention to do a tawbah right after that. That doesn't work. That tawbah is not a tawbah. And that whole, way of committing that wrong and intending that tawbah is not acceptable. So they had in mind to commit this heinous and this grave crime of killing or just getting rid of Yusuf alayhi salam. And in the meantime, they say, you know what, we will just make a tawbah and we will just return and become good people after that. You will never become good people if that is your initial and beginning intention of doing wrong. That's one. Number two, it also means that if when we, for example, a more simple and easy example is when we say, you know what, whatever business we are engaged in, it may be haram, clearly impermissible, but you know what, we will do some sadaqah out of it. We will give it in zakat. We will give a donation in masjid. You clearly know the income is haram. You clearly know you are earning from haram sources. Doesn't matter how many intentions of good deeds you are making after that. It doesn't make it halal for you when you say, you know what, when I earn this much, I will spend half or this much or that much on a masjid or on a charity, or I go to Hajj, or I will send someone to Hajj. That doesn't make your action permissible and halal and good. The same way that brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam say, you know what, let's kill him or get rid of him, then we will become good people. So upfront, in advance, you are doing that crime willingly, knowingly, with full, complete planning, then tawbah and repentance and return and becoming good is not what is acceptable. قال قائل منهم. One of the 10 who had some mercy, and he had some wisdom, although he was with them in the plan, but he was a little softer and a little lenient, and he said, قال قائل منهم, one of them said, لا تقتلوا يوسف. don't kill Yusuf alayhi salam. وَأَلْقُوهُ, and in fact, instead, just throw him في غيابة الجب. في غيابة mean in the deep bottom. غيابة means when he becomes غائب, when he is unseen, in a secret hidden bottom of what? Al-jub, of a ditch, and ditch here being the well. So throw him in this bottom of the well. First of all, he may either never be able to come back, or a good chance is that since this well is on the path of caravans from Canaan, they were living in Canaan and Egypt and other locations, and Canaan is a city in the past not too far from Jerusalem, from Palestine. So they said, when you throw it in this well, and the caravans of travelers, they come, and they always stop here for water. They knew that area. So they stop here for water, and then they when they bring water out, they will find him and take him with them to wherever they go. So in that way, you will just get rid of him completely. But they didn't know about the plans of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They didn't know that musibah, that calamity became a ni'mah, that mihna became a minha. These Arabic words. Mihna, difficulty and hardship, challenge and musibah, and minha, that is the gift of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That whole episode, Yusuf alayhi salam's ascension and elevation into the throne and the palace of Egypt started from his being thrown into the bottom of the well. So sometimes we don't know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's plans. Sometimes we judge something on the face of it, and we become impatient, we become desperate and hopeless, and we lose all patience. And when we face any difficulty, any challenge, health-wise or financial-wise or any other way, but we don't know. Allah may have plans for us, just like the plans for Yusuf alayhi salam, when he was in the very, very bottom of the well, and from there his journey to become higher and higher and higher, all the way to becoming the ruler of Egypt started from that moment. So this is a good lesson that Yusuf alayhi salam can teach us in our life. قال قائل منهم وألقوه في غيابة الجب, and throw him in the bottom of the well, يلتقطه, and that he will be picked up. They will pick him up. بعض السيارة, some of the travelers, some travelers going and traveling this path, they يلتقطه, they will pick him up. They will draw him out of the well. In kuntum fa'ilin, if you are doing your plot, if you are trying to implement your intentions, this is the way. So you will not be committing a crime of killing, and in the meantime you will achieve your goal. قالوا يا أبانا. Now they cannot just take him, because his father is protective. His father always looks after him, and he never wants him to be away from him even for an hour. And this shows also that they knew that Yaqub alayhi salam can never ever agree, can never let us take him without his permission. So they come to his father and they say, قالوا يا أبانا, O our father, ما لك لا تأمنا. What is it? Why are you, simple words, why are you not considering us as Amin? Why are you not trusting us? That is the simple understanding, meaning. Ma'alaka, what is with you? Why? What is wrong with you? La ta'manna, you are not trusting us ala Yusuf, on Yusuf alayhi salam, about Yusuf, in regards to Yusuf alayhi salam. Wa inna, so this also tells us that they may have tried before in other occasions, but the father has always refused for Yusuf, for them to take Yusuf alayhi salam. So they come, why are you not trusting us? What is it that makes you lose your trust on us in regards to Yusuf alayhi salam? Wa inna, and indeed we are, lahu, to him, lanasihun, we have no intention but good wishes, good will wishers. Nasihun means we are well wishers. We are well wishers. We don't want him any harm. We want to, take care of him. We will be doing nasiha. And nasiha doesn't mean advising, but it means we are wishing him all well. He's our brother. Now there is a tajweed note to make here. The word la ta'manna. And in the Arabic Quran prints, if you see, there is a diamond shape between mim and noon, basically unknown, that there is a diamond shape, and this is a special way of reciting. And on the side of the pages, you will see there is written ishmam, that this is recited with ishmam. So this is how it is recited. Now, in recitation, in the sound, there is no change. It is just la ta'manna, la ta'manna. The word, the actual word is la ta'manuna, la ta'manuna. Ta'manu is verb, na is pronoun, dhamir. Why are you not trusting? Na, us. But ta'manuna, the two noons came in one place, so they merge into one another. So they become la ta'manna. Now, this is the only word in the Quran. In the sound, you will, if you're not looking at the Qari's mouth, you will not see any difference. But only those who are watching at the mouth of the Qari, the reciter, and when you are reading, this is the only place you read it in a special way. This is how you read it. La ta'manna. Look, you say ta'man, after you just round up your lips for a little bit. Now it's a little difficult, and if you cannot do it, it's not. It doesn't make the meaning different, or you're not committing a big wrong. But if you want to perfectly say it in the right way and follow the tajweed and the recitation rules, then this is how you say it. La ta'man na. After ta'man, round up your lips a little bit. La ta'man na. Again, it's a little funny and a little different, but this is how it is recited. La ta'man na ala Yusuf wa inna lahu lanasihun. Arsilhu ma'ana. Send him with us ghadan, tomorrow. Yarta wa yal'ab. They are now coming up with reasons and coming up with some type of plannings to convince their father, to give them a reason to believe in them and trust them. Arsilhu, send him. Ma'ana, with us. Ghadan, tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to this, picnic or some outing outside, just to have fun and play and eat and have good time. Yarta wa yal'ab. Yarta means to enjoy. It also means to eat. Both when you have eat and picnic and playing, wa yal'ab and playing. This whole package is called yarta wa yal'ab. Having, enjoying and having good time and eating and playing, all we will do it together. Wa inna, and the fact is that we, lahu, to him, hala hafidun. Definitely we swear we will be protecting him. Hafidun. We will do hifada. We will protect and keep it, safeguard him and keep an eye on him. He said, inni, he gave him some reasons why I'm not allowing him to go. Number one, inni la yahzununi. actually I become sad. I'm not feeling well. And tadhabu. Just uh, oh, the fact that you are taking him, this makes me sad. I don't like it. That's one. Wa akhafu, number two, I have fear an ya'kulahu dhi'bu, that the wolf will eat him up there. So because they told him where they are going, and he knew that is an area there are some grazing animals and some wolves and things. So he says, he's a young boy and he may not be able to defend himself, and somehow the wolves will harm him. وَأَنْتُمْ عَنْهُ غَافِلُونَ. And while you are unaware of him, you are, leaving him alone, and he will be harmed by these beasts and animals. Now, a lot of the tafsirs mention that they had no idea uh, how they can come up with new ways when they do their plot, when they get rid of Yusuf alayhi salam, and how can they come back and show some excuse to their father. And this Yaqub alayhi salam's word that I'm afraid that he will be eaten up by wolf gave them an idea that, hey, when we come back, we will tell our father, you are right. We were playing and he was left besides our items and goods. And by the time we came back, he was eaten up by a wolf. قالوا, they said, لَإِنْ أَكَلَهُ ذِئْبُ, if he is eaten up by a wolf, in أَكَلَهُ ذِئْبُ, if a wolf eats him up, وَنَحْنُ عُصْبَةٌ, and while the fact is, نَحْنُ we عُصْبَةٌ, we are a strong group. Now that this all tells us, when somebody is intent on doing something wrong and evil, they will come up with all types of lies, all types of excuses, and they will show genuine concern. They will come up with some genuine reasons to make the person believe him. And this happens all the time. The liars and the criminals, the wrongdoers will do all types of excuses. And this can happen in a very, very low level between kids and between families, between, in societies, and it can go up and up and up in higher level, and even in politics and power and all, that the media and the channels and all showing all evil in the form and in the shape of very nice and good news and good plans and good policies. And we can see that in our eyes around us every day. So نحن عصبة, while we are very strong group. How can that happen? If that happened, إِنَّا إِذًا لَخَاسِرُونَ. Indeed, indeed we, إِذًا, in that case, لَخَاسِرُونَ, we will be big losers. We will be wrong, absolutely wrong. That will be a big mistake on our side if we let that happen. And the 10 people letting a young boy to be eaten up by a wolf, that is a very big loss for all of us. It's not going to happen. So eventually the father allowed him to go with his brothers. When they took him, and they decided, they agreed, أن يجعلوه, to throw him في غيابة الجب, in the bottom of the well. وأوحينا. And at that time, Allah says, we revealed to him. Now, this is one of the examples where, in a young age, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends a wahi, a revelation to a person. In this case, he's Yusuf alayhi salam. In that young age, and it is said that about 7-8 years, he received that wahi from Allah, ilayhi, to him. And what was the wahi? لَتُنَبِّئَنَّهُمْ. The first one, the first purpose and goal of the wahi was to assure him, to calm him down, to comfort him that, you know, whatever they plan, you will not be harmed. Nothing will happen to you. Allah is protecting you. And in the meantime, لَتُنَبِّئَنَّهُمْ. You will definitely inform them. Let them know بِأَمْرِهِمْ, their affair, their decisions, their wrongdoings. A day will come when you will tell them one by one. هَذَا أَمْرِهِمْ هَذَا. This affair, this work that they did to you, they will one day know it from you. وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. Now, وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ, while they don't know, while they do not realize. That has two meanings. Number one, Allah revealed to him while they didn't realize. They couldn't notice. They were not aware that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at that moment revealed a wahi to him and sent down the angel to keep him safe and protected. وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. They didn't even realize that. They didn't even had any idea about that. Number two, you will inform them of what they did to you while they will not have any idea that you are Yusuf and you now have reached the level of a ruler in Egypt, and they cannot even imagine that their brother Yusuf became such a high position, powered person. They will have no idea of that. They will be surprised, which we will see later on, inshallah. So in two ways. Right now, the wahi came to him, they have no idea. And secondly, when he is informing them, they will have no idea of your position and level. وَجَاءُوا أَبَاهُمْ. Now, in the past, they normally would come before dark. But this time, on purpose, they came late at night. Isha, they came. وَجَاءُوا, they came, أَبَاهُمْ, to their father, Isha, and late at night, يَبْكُونَ. And first of all, they came late. Number two, they were faking to be crying. That was not a true, genuine, real cry. They were just faking it. Like in Arabic language, it's tabaki. Yabki wa yatabaki. That means they were just making it as if they are crying after their brother Yusuf alayhi salam. قالوا, they said, Ya Abana, oh our father, inna dhahabna, we went, nastabiqu, and we were competing. We were running, and there was a competition in our running. Of course, like they said in the beginning, we will be playing, we will be having fun and plays. وَتَرَكْنَا يُوسُفَ. And at a time, we left Yusuf alayhi salam with our mata'ina, in the mata'ina, with our items, whatever clothes or food or whatever there was, we left them here, and we were running, competing in our race. We were racing each other, and that's how فَأَكَلَهُ الذِّئْبُ. And while we were away from him, the wolf ate him. وَمَا أَنْتَ بِمُؤْمِنٍ لَنَا. We know you don't believe us. Now look at these liars. Inside, they definitely know the father is not going to believe. So they come up with something with that notion, that idea. Before even father says, I don't believe you, they say, you're not going to believe us. And this is the habit, this is the adat of the liars, the wrongdoers. And even, whoever, the kids or whoever does something wrong and they want to cover it up, before you even say anything, they say, you know what, you're not going to believe me. Whatever I say, whatever proof I bring you, you're not going to believe me at all. So the brothers, before even father says anything, he says, وَمَا أَنْتَ بِمُؤْمِنٍ لَنَا. You are not going to believe us at all. Mu'minin lana. This mu'min doesn't mean iman. If it means iman, that means mu'minin bina or bihi. But when it is lana or lahu or laka, that means believing someone, trusting someone. You don't trust us. You don't believe us. وَلَوْ كُنَّا صَادِقِينَ. Even if we are truthful, even if we are saying the truth, you're not going to believe us. وَجَاءُوا عَلَى قَمِيصِهِ. So first of all, they came late. Number two, they are crying. Number three, they are picturing this scenario that we were racing, and we left Yusuf there, alayhi salam, and he was eaten up. And number four, they're saying, you know what, no matter what we say, we are truthful, but still you are not believing us. Number five, ja'u ala qamisihi. Look at all these their acts that they're planning step by step, but they have a big mistake here. We will see. وَجَاءُوا, and they came ala qamisihi with their with his shirt. They brought his shirt bidamin kadib. Ala qamisihi, on his shirt, bidamin kadib, a fake blood. They killed some animal, they killed something, a bird or animal, whatever, and they took the blood and spilled it on his shirt, faking as if that was Yusuf alayhi salam's shirt, full with the blood that the wolf caused Yusuf alayhi salam, and they took his shirt out, and that was another disrespect and another evil thing that they did to Yusuf alayhi salam. So they took his shirt and they put that blood on the shirt and brought it to his father. Now father is smart and intelligent prophet of Allah. So he looked at the shirt and there is no tear in the shirt. The shirt is completely, fully intact. Not a single tear in the shirt. So he says, what type of wolf was this that took Yusuf alayhi salam, that took the shirt out of Yusuf alayhi salam without being torn at all and ate him out? He knew that this was a plan. This was a plot that they did. Then he said, when he understood that this was wrong, they were lying, he said, "Bal sawwalat lakum." But the fact is, sawwalat lakum. Sawwalat, it be lakum anfusukum, your own self, your own nafs made it beautiful for you. Sawwalat zayyanat. This word, this plot, this whole scheme has become beautiful for you, nice and good and simple for you by your own nafs. This amran, this work that you just committed has been made beautiful for your own self. So my job is, now look at his sabr, look at his wisdom, and look at his forbearance and tolerance, hilm, and his great wisdom, that even when all of that happened, he didn't say anything to his children. Now you should get out of my house. You are an he never started to make dua against them, to insult them or do anything. He said, "Fasabrun jamil." My work is, your work is that evil that you committed. My work is sabrun jamil, that I will do a beautiful, nice, good sabr and patience. Now, sabr jamil, as is mentioned in the hadith also, and explanation in the books of the series, sabrun jamil, the sabr jamil is the type of sabr that in which you have no complaints, no faryad, no shakwa, that you are not screaming and shouting and complaining and everybody you are talking to all, as long as you know it is from Allah and no one can do anything now, and it is only the decision, the decree, the qadar of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you just rely and trust Allah and stay quiet and good without having any complaints. You can complain to Allah, by the way. Like later on, we will see this. Innama ashku bathi wa huzni ilallah. My own grief, my own showing of my own grief and sadness is to Allah. But for the family and people around and friends, I have no complaints. Sabrun Jamil. Wallahu al-musta'an. Why do I do that? Because Allah is al-musta'an. Allah is the one to seek assistance, isti'ana. Isti'ana, assistance and help is sought from Allah, ala ma tasifun, over everything that you are explaining. Everything that you are saying, against all of that, my dependence and reliance is on Allah, and I'm seeking His assistance. This is a very, very important lesson to learn from Yusuf, Yaqub alayhi salam. The greatest lesson, the greatest dars of sabr and sabr jamil, that type of beautiful sabr to be learned from Yaqub alayhi salam. And inshallah, we will learn more in the coming ayat, how much patience he showed. And the sabr jamil has been used a couple of times again in this surah. So inshallah, we'll continue tomorrow. Subhanakallah wa bihamdik. نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا ولم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا